Welcome viewers to Passion for English Literature. Today I am going to tell about the life story of Robert Browning. Robert Browning was one of the Victorian major poets. Robert Browning was born on 7 May 1812 and he was born in the London suburb of Camberwell. Camberwell stretches across the Thames. Thames is the name of a river in London. His father's name was also Robert Browning. His father was a bank clerk. He built up a good library at home. His mother was a Sarah Anna Wedeman. His mother was 10 years older than his father. When Robert Browning was born, his mother was 40 years old. His mother was very pious. Robert Browning had little formal education, but he learned much at home. Robert Browning was very curious in art and life. His father and the home library created his curiosity. His mother took care of him so that he was spiritually developed. His mother taught him the love of nature, the love of man. His mother also taught him the love of religion and a creative or a positive outlook was created in him because of his mother's care. His father and his mother influenced Robert Browning to a great extent, and that's why Robert Browning grew to a poet. He learned many lessons at home in his formative years, and these lessons made Robert Browning a poet of objectivity. As a result, he took no interest in his personal feelings, in his personal things. Robert Browning even took no interest in the problems of his own age. The main subject of his poems is human soul, and the main subject, human soul, recurs in his poems time and again. Robert Browning probed deep into human soul, and he dissected the human soul from the psychological point of view. Robert Browning had faith in God, and he led a pious life, and his faith in God recurs in his poems frequently. Robert Browning married Elizabeth Barrett. Elizabeth Barrett was also a poet. First, Robert Browning was fall in love with Elizabeth Barrett, and after that, and after a long time, he married Elizabeth Barrett. Robert Browning first met Elizabeth Barrett on 10th January 1845. After that, Robert Browning exchanged some letters with Elizabeth Barrett. At that time, Elizabeth Barrett was sick and older. Despite her sickness, Robert Browning fell in love with Elizabeth Barrett. Then they had about 92 meetings, and they corresponded to each other 572 letters. There was a very wonderful courtship between Robert Browning and Elizabeth Barrett, and the courtship was included to several volumes of his poetry. Robert Browning had not been to a major public university or to a Cambridge or to a Oxford. He had been to Italy. In his old age, Robert Browning said, "Italy was my university." The poetic art of Robert Browning became matured in Italy. In Italy, he spent a significant period of his creative life. Robert Browning first visited Italy in 1838. After his secret marriage with Elizabeth Barrett, he went to Italy again. He went to Italy again in 1846, and he went to Italy and he stayed there until 1861. When he stayed in Italy, the first few years were not productive. Around 1850, his creativity suddenly blazed. His creativity suddenly enkindled, and at that time he composed Men and Women. His Men and Women was the famous volume, and his Men and Women was famous for its blank verse. And in these years, Robert Browning came in direct contact with the Italian Renaissance, and this Italian Renaissance influenced his art form. Robert Browning wanted to satisfy his father in his early age. That's why Robert Browning made an abortive effort to write drama. However, his plays were not successful. After that, he started writing poetry. Robert Browning wrote poetry for about 60 years. But Robert Browning was recognized as a poet only in the last few years of his life. It is unfortunate that in the present world, most of his poetry is not read. Thank you viewers for watching the video.